This Saturday is Veterans Day, and there are two ways to celebrate it. By visiting a vet in the hospital, bringing them a hot meal, looking them in the eye and saying, "Thank you for your service." Or the more traditional way, by using them as political pawns. And guess which one our politicians chose?
When they're playing the national anthem, I don't care who you are, where you stand and you give respect for those men and women, the millions of people who have served this nation.
I kneel because I will stand with those young men and I'll stand with our soldiers.
Let's not disrespect our troops and our veterans and all who love this great country by saying that America is not worth standing for.
Just tell us how you feel about an issue. Leave the troops out of it. Believe me, Margaret, I'd love to use a condom, but it's disrespectful to the troops. Don't you want my penis to stand for the national anthem? Listen, at the end of the day, the troops are individuals with different opinions. Some don't want people to kneel for the flag. Some do. Some are cat people. Some are dog people. And some, God help me, are iguana people. Although iguanas aren't so much a pet as a relationship red flag. If you see a terrarium sneak out before breakfast, and speaking of iguanas, what does Eric Trump have to say about all of this?
I mind kneeling, and my father minds kneeling, and you know, it's one thing I've always said about my father: he'll fight for this country, and this was another great example of him fighting for this country.
Wait a minute. What was the first example of him fighting for his country? The only serving Trump's ever done is divorce papers. Look. Oh, really? Seriously? Oh, man. Look, I don't begrudge the president dodging the draft. I spent the Vietnam War on mescaline, sitting in a hot tub with a golden retriever named Judy. So this Veterans Day season, maybe our government could cut the sanctimony and do something concrete to actually help them. For example, the victims of Agent Orange. It's half a century since the military exposed thousands of our troops to it. But bureaucrats still can't agree on which cancers to pay for.
The Department of Veterans Affairs says it needs more time to decide if any ailments will be added to the list of conditions leading to compensation for Agent Orange exposure.
After an 18-month study from the VA to add certain health problems, there's yet more delays.
Does it really take 56 years for these bureaucrats to figure out if poison poisons people? That's why it's called poison, asshole, and not Gatorade. You want me to prove it? If you'd like, I can come to your office and spray some Agent Orange on you. And here's a way to really help some vets with PTSD. Maybe let them use a medical treatment that actually works.
David Shulkin, the new Secretary of the VA, has publicly acknowledged that marijuana may have some benefit to veterans with disabilities. But doctors at the VA are forbidden from even talking about it with patients, even when those using it show signs of improving. Because the federal government still classifies marijuana as an illegal drug with no medicinal value.
If the weed works, then get them weed. Buy it for them. Call that bike messenger in Brooklyn. You know, the one covered in tattoos. But not the one that wants to stop and smoke the weed with you. These men and women have suffered enough. Or, if you really want to honor our veterans, you could take steps not to create more veterans. Because ever since 9/11, the government has had the power to send troops wherever they want in the name of fighting terrorism. Even to countries we didn't even know existed until we found out we had troops there.
The investigation continues into the deaths of the 4 soldiers killed during a reconnaissance mission in Niger, Western Africa. Some members of Congress admit they were unaware of the actual number of U.S. forces on the ground there.
I didn't know there was 1,000 troops in Niger.
You heard Senator Graham there. He didn't know we had 1,000 troops in Niger. Did you?
No, I did not.
You're the ones who are supposed to know how many troops we have everywhere. Is that too much to ask? Why can't we just fire you guys like President Kevin Spacey?